My story goes back to 2002. That's when I purchased the first 125 acres that eventually became my Southern Iowa farm. Life was good for nearly a decade as me and my friends shot giant bucks nearly every season.
That's an impressive deer. I don't know if you can appreciate the size of this body.
The action peaked in 2011 when I shot 2 great bucks and missed an even bigger one, and our son shot an equally impressive deer.
I don't even know how to react to that.
This guy's a giant. I might go a long time before I get another chance to shoot one this big.
That was 2011. 2012 brought a huge twist to my deer hunting story.
Well, here's Bubba. EHD claims another monster.
Though I was lucky enough to kill a giant that year, a sucker punch from EHD took the wind out of me and has left the farm in a state of recovery ever since. I spent the 2013 season cleaning up a few of the EHD survivors, but there weren't many of them, and it didn't take long before they were gone. The fallout from EHD killing 2/3 of my deer herd really hit in 2014. To put that season in perspective, I made 75 trips either to the blind or to the tree stand without ever once drawing my bow. There is no sure thing in this game. So this is my story. The stage is set for 2015. My new season promises to offer all of the challenges of deer hunting without many of its rewards. I know it's going to be tough. 3 bucks quickly grabbed my attention. There's an old friend we had nicknamed Big Junior, a deer I have some history with. Another is a tremendous younger buck that I'll have to decide whether to shoot. The third is a very solid 10-pointer with a massive inward turning rack. At the same time that I am building and planting food plots with the hope of a fall harvest, Aaron Warbriton is starting to scout several tracts of vast, hard-to-reach public land on which he is staking his season.
Chasing November is brought to you by Hoyt Archery, Redneck Blinds, and Trophy Rock. Going into every season, you need to have confidence in your tackle. Preseason practice is a big part of that, but knowing your gear is also important. I've been shooting Hoyt since 1995. That's 21 seasons of confidence. Of course, one of the management goals on our farm is to grow the biggest and healthiest deer possible. One of the best ways you can do that is to meet all of their needs, including their mineral requirements. That's why I use trophy rocks and place them in high activity areas where the deer are most likely to find them. Hunting from redneck blinds has become an increasingly important part of my strategy. If you remember right, the 2014 season was really cold. 75 trips to the field would not have been possible without the comfort of a redneck blind.
Well, it's late July. We're headed out on the lake right now. We've got some new public spots that we're going to go check out that we can only access by boat or canoe. So John's bringing the boat in here. We're going to hop in, go see if we can find some killing spots for the rut.
It's 6-7 feet deep right there.
Well, I just want it to be barely deep enough, just barely deep enough that you can get in there. Growing up in northeast Missouri, my family and I started hunting public land at a very young age, and it's always presented a special challenge to me. We're hunting deer that anybody else has got the right to chase.
Where all those trails come across, especially if the ditch flattens out up there.
Yeah,
there might be a good crossing somewhere.
I've got access to private ground in our area, but every season we find ourselves trekking around on the public land spots. There's just an adventure aspect to it, and it's pretty cool to be out there elbow to elbow with everyone else trying to accomplish the same goal.
Here, look him over there. We have been in the stand maybe 15 minutes.
The neat thing with this area is that it is very hard to access, so the best way to access it is using this canoe. Going into 2015, we started out as we always do in midsummer, trying to find new areas to hunt. And this year, we had my buddy John's duck boat that allowed us to get to some of these remote areas.
Well, it's August 20th, and we're back down here at our public land river spot. This is the same piece of land that I killed my buck off of last year out of the canoe. Hopefully, a lot of bucks will come out here tonight, and we can get an inventory of them on this place. Oh my God, it's a giant. It's a giant.
On my first night out filming velvet, I'm shocked when this giant 10-pointer steps out. It's exciting to know that a big one is in this area, but the most challenging part is coming up with a game plan to hunt this deer in a block of big timber that will no doubt be pressured by other hunters come November. The search doesn't end here though. I spend the rest of the summer learning the landscape where this big buck is living, but also cast a wide net of trail cameras and other public land spots, hoping to catch a few more mature bucks to target this fall.
Chasing November is also brought to you by Cabela's, Muddy Trail Cameras, Easton Arrows, Realtree, and Muddy Outdoors.
The Cabela's Instinct Reliant Whitetail system is perfect for layering, especially when hiking long distances on public land and trying to keep our clothing sweat-free. A great place to set up your muddy cameras during the summer is over old licking branches and scrapes. Deer will use these licking branches during all times of the season and help you gain an inventory of the bucks before fall arrives.
During the midsummer, we use these muddy climbing sticks all the time when we're out scouting. They're lightweight, easy to pack. We just bring a group of 4 of them in here, scale up the tree. That way we can scout out all of our trees for our tree stands for the upcoming fall, and then we come right back in with the same set of sticks, zip right up the tree, ready to kill them. Muddy climbing sticks, very easy tool to use, especially for those of you hunting public land.
The Realtree Extra Green pattern is the perfect choice for summer scouting. A lot of times we just wear a t-shirt out there. It keeps us cool, but hidden from these bucks at the same time.
Reflecting back on prior encounters, Eastern Iowa bow hunter Jared Mills resumes a quest of his own.
That's unreal. That's the buck that I've been after. He was, when I first saw him, it looked like he was pinned down, and I thought they were locked up, but they eventually got untangled and they fell down the creek, but it was right in front of, I mean, crazy. I didn't expect to even see that deer on this part of the farm, let alone see him like that. Just unreal. After the November 11th encounter with the buck I called George Brett, he became my obsession for the rest of the season. He was definitely a daylight mover. I played cat and mouse with him, patterning him with trail cameras and moving in on hang and hunt missions. Though I saw him 6 different times, he always managed to stay out of bow range. At the close of the season, I honestly was not disappointed I didn't get him. I was confident he was a 4-year-old, and I was really interested to see what he could turn into as a 5-year-old. Well, it's August 30th. I'm checking cameras, making a few mock scrapes, but the main priority is to come out here and get some plot boost sprayed on a couple of these secluded food plots. I came and playing some big and beastie probably 2 weeks ago now, and this spot that I'm standing in particular is the one I'm most excited about. Held a lot of good deer last year, a lot of bucks just using this area, and one in particular, George Brett, this was kind of his core spot. So the scrape that's right behind me is a spot that's I got the most pictures of George Brett last year. Just sets up nice. You know, you got creek access over here, just a long narrow food plot, secluded back in these pines. So things are getting close, scrapes are opening up. I'm excited to get things going. As summer progresses, I'm doing everything I can on the farm to make it more huntable, especially in the areas where I encountered George Brett the previous year. By the end of summer, I don't have any trail cam pictures of the buck, but he is showing up on a neighbor's camera, and he turned into a giant. He's now a mainframe 10 with lots of character. All I can do now is wait patiently. The year before, I wasn't getting regular pictures of him on the farm I hunt until October, and it looks like his behavior is the same again this year. It's already testing my patience, waiting for George Brett to make his fall range shift and for the chess match to begin.
Jared's good friend Mike Reed shares in the same quest, but also has a story of his own to tell.
Hey guys, I'm out here at the new farm. Just completed the purchase of this farm. It's the first farm that I own. I'm really excited to be out here and taking this challenge underway of learning a new property and figuring out what's out here. So, first camera on the new farm. Can't wait to see what shows up. It's going to be very exciting, this first card pull. This farm is about 200 acres of timber and cover and about 60 acres of tillable. So this is a great combination of cover and tillable. I can get enough food in here, but have tons of cover to hold this high Van Buren County deer density. Unfortunately this year I probably won't have a ton of food, but I am working pretty hard to getting as much food as I can on it. Other goals that I have as a first-year landowner is trying to assess the overall deer herd, the sex ratios, the age structure of the bucks. Sometimes that can be difficult. Long-term goals, I'd like to target 5.5-year-old trophy bucks, 4.5-year-old management bucks. I do think I'm going to have my work cut out for me this year. I need to harvest a lot of does just from what I've seen riding around and running trail cameras. And the last thing I really want to focus on this year is the first year of owning it is just how the deer generally move through the property. And we'll do that via trail cameras and also just sit in the tree. So as many sits as I can get out here, just watching how the deer move through the property and learn that, and that way I can apply that to future years, where to put stands, where to put food plots, etc., and make myself more successful. So I'm really excited to own my own farm. This is the first farm that I own. I've leased a lot of farms over the years, and this is just going to be a blank canvas for me to make it a whitetail mecca, basically. And I've got a bunch of other opportunities this year, and other places are also new to me. I'm helping a buddy manage a farm that he's owned it for 10 or so years, and that's another place I've never been on, so another challenge. And then I've been hunting the urban zone where I live for some years now. So I've got a lot of work to do yet. We're going to get back to work today, and my first hunt will be in the urban zone. That zone opens up 2 weeks before the statewide season, so Jared and I will be out there knocking some does down, trying to earn a buck tag.
Chasing November is also brought to you by Scott Archery, Fuse Accessories, Frigid Forage, and Ozonics. There's no traditional agriculture on the farm where Jared is hunting this fall, so to concentrate the movement of the local deer, he's planted a number of these small, frigid forage, big and beastie kill plots. One of the most important steps you can take to become a more consistent bow hunter is to learn how to trigger the shot by surprise. The Scott Archery Longhorn Hex is a back tension release that helps you to learn this all-important skill. I've been shooting the Fuse sights since 2008. Pins are super bright, extremely well protected and durable. I've never had a pin break, even though I drag my bow through all kinds of brush, and I can't say that about some of the inferior sights I've used over the years. Fuse sights are bright, durable, and accurate, and there's not a whole lot more I can ask for from a sight. One of the biggest challenges we face every season is the ability to hunt spots where the wind swirls. With proper scent control, such as using the Ozonics unit, we gain the edge that we need to hunt some of the places that we otherwise could not. "2015 also marks the start of Eric and John's year-long journey to find and develop 2 new properties, no matter how small.
We're out here today on a new piece of property that we just got permission to hunt next fall. And the layout of this land here, it's kind of like a river bottom. This is about 40 acres, and we're out here trying to find these creek crossings and these trails that these deer are using. We actually jumped up about 20 deer walking in here, so we know there's still some deer hanging around here. So right now we're just kind of walking, getting the lay of the land since this is the first time we've been on this property to really get a feeling where we want to put tree stands for next fall, and hopefully we'll find an antler or two. So we're going to hop across this creek and see what that looks like. After scouting the 40-acre property for the first time, we were excited about the potential that it shows. Thick bedding cover, pinch points, and numerous large rubs and scrapes, not to mention the big 5-point shed we found on our first pass. One of the challenges we face on this small property is the lack of food. So our first step is to establish a clover plot with plans to add a brassica plot later in the summer. It's May 27th and Eric and I are back out this property that we've been doing some work on this year. It's a little 40-acre chunk. We got to turkey hunt it this spring. I was able to harvest a turkey here the opening day. Previous to turkey hunting, we were able to put in some pure trophy clover. Unfortunately, right now it's gotten overtaken by grass. We're going to spray this, and then we're going to go down to where we're going to be putting in our big and beastie plot, spray that with Roundup, and depending on what time it is, we got a little poor man plot back in the woods that we want to try to clear up a little bit and possibly spray that too. Well, like we said earlier, we're going to be getting some trophy rocks out here on this new property. We do have some pictures of some deer earlier this spring, and we know there's a few mature bucks on this piece, but we're going to keep moving here and get a couple more of these rocks out. By mid-August, we have a lush, frigid forage, big and beastie plot established as a destination food source with the redneck blind in place. As we check trail cameras, we are excited to see how many solid bucks are showing up on the property. 2 bucks in particular are regulars at the trophy rocks. A big 10-point with brow tines that splay out, and his buddy, a solid 9-pointer. But that isn't all. The buck we've been waiting to get pictures of finally makes an appearance. It's a buck I found the shed to back in February, and he blew up in a big way. Not only his frame is bigger, but he also added a bunch of character points. Now, we are coming up with a game plan to hunt these bucks this fall.
As velvet dries and bucks go hard-horned, the natural colors turn to oranges and browns of autumn.
door is closed on our summer of preparation. The days are getting shorter. The buck's testosterone is starting to rise. Now starts a new chapter in our stories as we begin chasing November.